Hi everyone, so today I have a first impressions video for you, and I'm going to try out these brushes. It's a little bit hard to see, there's a bit of a glare, but this is the new Real Techniques collection. This is the, let's see if I can see what it's called. It's just called the Deluxe gift set. So I am going to try out these brushes. There are a couple of face brushes. The first one is called the Multitasking Brush, and then there's a tapered foundation brush, which is an exclusive to this kit, and then an angled highlighter brush over here, and then a base shadow brush and a fine liner brush. So I'm going to take them out of here. I've done part of my makeup today. As you can see, it's not completely finished. So I'm going to try out these makeup brushes and see how I like them and what my first impressions of these are. Let's see if I can get them out of here. And also there is a white clutch that came with this kit, or this brush set I should say. So this is what the clutch looks like. It just has the Real Techniques logo on the front, and then you open it up like this and you can put your brushes in here. It's not a really big clutch or anything, or I guess a place to put your brushes in, but these 5 should be able to fit in here very well. Let's see, let me get these brushes out of here so I can get to using them. They are definitely stuck in here, and these last 2 are glued in here, so let's see how I can get that glue off of here. What I've noticed about these brushes, these newer ones, is they have a more metal type of brush bristle. Let me see. As you can see, the older ones, they are more matte and stuff, so these are the newer brushes. And as you can see, there's a piece of glue on there that is not wanting to come off. I guess I will see how I can get this off later. This is seriously stuck on here. There's a little piece of it. Yeah, I think I'll do that later. This other brush is glued in here as well. I wouldn't mind if they weren't so glued in there, as long as they're stuck in there. Then that's all that is needed. Alright. Well, my first impressions of the feeling is they're very soft. They're very soft bristles and very fluffy. So I'm going to start with the eyes, and I'm going to use this base shadow brush. It's a little bit more tapered. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the brush. As you can see, it's a little bit more tapered on the top and here as well on the sides. So I think it would be a good brush to put on the outer corner color and blend it kind of into the crease. So I'm going to zoom it in a little bit, and then I will show you how I use these. Alright, so I've put down some gold on my eyelids, and I'm going to take a kind of darker brown eyeshadow. So you get a little bit on the brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to start here on the outer corner. This one is very fluffy as well, and I think it's perfect for what I wanted it for. You can see it's just so soft, it blends out very easily. I'm going to take a little bit more. I don't think you'd be able to pat on a lot of shadow with this. I think it's very good for blending out eyeshadows like this in the crease. I really like the look that this gives. And then I'll do the other side. Yeah, these are very fluffy and soft brushes. I have another set. I have the Core collection, I believe it's called, and I loved those, and I've had them for I think 2 years now. They're really great. So yeah, this works perfectly for what I wanted this brush for. Has the perfect shape to it. Let me get this to focus. So you can see I used that side to pat on the color, and then the tip to kind of blend it out in the crease. So this is the perfect eyeshadow brush for that. Yeah, this blends out really nicely, so I'm really impressed with this eyeshadow brush. I really like it for this. I will finish up the eyeshadow on my eyes, and then I will do my eyeliner with a pointed fine, what is it called? The fine liner brush. So let me finish my eyeshadow and then I'll get back to that. Alright, so I'm done with my eyeshadow and everything. So I'm going to use this L'Oreal Gel Lacquer Liner, and this is a black gel eyeliner, and I'm going to try out the fine liner brush. So this feels a little bit like a silicone type brush. It doesn't feel like just bristles. I'm not sure. Maybe it is, but it's really thin. So let's see if this works for gel eyeliner. I've been looking for a brush to do my gel liner with, and I haven't been able to find one in my collection, at least, that I like to use for this. So let's see if this works. I'll get up pretty close. Gel eyeliner usually takes a little bit more time, but I love the look of gel eyeliner because it's usually more black and more matte. So far it's working well. It takes a little bit more time because it's a little bit more of a fine brush. If you press it down a little bit, it gives a little bit of a wider line. You can really get into the inner corner as well, as you can see. So let me finish the other side, and then I'm going to try and do a wing. Alright, so there is the other eye done as well. I feel like with getting a little bit more product on it and stuff and doing my other eye, it's a little bit easier to do, and the brush gets a little bit thinner and a little bit more pointed, so it's a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to get a little bit more product, and then I'm going to try to do a wing. Well, that worked pretty well. It gave a little bit of a wider wing on the outer corner, but I like the way it looks, and I can get a pretty sharp line on the outer edge. So I'm really impressed with that for a brush like this. So I will do the other side. There we go, so now I have both sides done. I really love this little brush. You can see like this, how I got the product on there. Now it's a little bit of a finer brush than before. I really like this brush. I feel like it can get a pretty good wing at the edge and get it pretty smooth as well, as you can see on both sides. So I absolutely love this brush. This is definitely one that I will use a lot because I love using gel eyeliner. So let me zoom you back out, and I will use the face brushes. So for the face, there are 3 brushes. There is this little highlighter brush, which is really soft as well, and I feel like it's the perfect size to get on the cheekbones to do the highlighter. And then there's also a pointed foundation brush, which looks like this, and I feel like it would be really good to do under eye concealer, but I already finished my foundation and my powder, so I wanted to try it for contouring. I feel like it has a pretty slim shape, and that it would probably work pretty well. It's a little bit stiffer at the top, and the sides are softer. So I want to try and use it for contouring. And then there's also another brush. This is just the Multitasking Brush. And this one is the most softest brush I think I own. I have another powder brush. Let me show you to compare. This is a different powder brush. And this one is really soft as well, but it is much bigger than this one. So I wanted to try this one for blush today. It says on the back of the box that you can use this for powder, blush, or bronzer. So I wanted to try it for blush today. So I will start with the contouring, and I'm going to use the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm going to see how it works to contour with this brush. Might be a little bit harder than I thought because it's a little bit stiffer at the tip. So let's see, let me get my mirror here. You can definitely draw a very defined line, but it blends out pretty easily as well. If you go on the other side, works to blend out. It is definitely good for contouring. I don't know, I would probably bronze first and then just use this more of like a little bit more of a defined contour line, like when I would actually be contouring with a more ashier toned color, but this works really well. I'm going to do the other side, do the same thing for that. I just start at the top of my ear, and I can kind of feel with the brush where my cheekbones are. And then just take the brush the other way and blend it out. This works really well. I really like it. And this brush is kind of stiff, so then it can put the product exactly where I want it, and it doesn't blend all over the place. So this is the perfect brush for doing very detailed contouring. So I'm going to do a little bit more on my forehead and see how that works. I usually start up here on my hairline and then blend it downwards. I think this would be a really good brush for contouring. And also I use a bigger brush to do like bronzing and stuff. So I would usually have bronzed up here and bronzed down here before I do this step. So I will do this first now since I started with it. And then I'm going to use another brush. Maybe I'll just use the Real Techniques Multitask brush that was in the set to do the bronzing. And then I'll just do the blush with that same brush. And then just use it at the top to connect it so that it's not just one wide open space. And I feel like you could definitely use this to do the contouring on the jawline, so I'll do a little bit of that. I usually draw it right under the jawbone, and then I just blend it downwards into or onto my throat. I think this is the stiffest brush of them all. It has like a, since it's really packed hardly, like it's not very fluffy or anything. So I think this would be really great for liquid stuff as well. Like it says it's for foundation, so I'm sure this would be great to do the under eyes as well. So I'm going to take this multitasking brush now, and I'm going to take some more of that bronzer, and I'm just going to bronze this up and blend it out a little bit. I feel like this would give a really blown out look because it's so soft and it's not as densely packed. I don't know if you can hear how windy it is outside. It was all nice the whole day until now, all of a sudden in the afternoon, then it's windy yet. This is a really soft brush, which I think would do a really good job with blending out, and it does do a good job with blending out. So this one is definitely good for bronzing, and definitely blush too, since you want all of those products to be really blended out. blend out that contouring a little bit. There. So for my blush, I'm going to use the Tarte Captivating Blush. So I'm just going to dip this same brush in there. As you can see, there's not any of the bronzer left on here. So I'm just going to use that same brush and see how this works for blush. I feel like this gives a very light application, so I would probably do a little bit more. As you can see, that looks really blended out right away. It's like I wouldn't have to do any extra blending with this. I think that looks really pretty. Definitely is a good brush for blending things out. I feel like sometimes products aren't well with blending and they're a little bit skippy, but brushes make a really big difference as well. Especially like with your eyeshadow, if you're blending stuff out like in the crease and stuff, it makes a big difference on the quality of your brush and the shape and the design that it is. Like this one is super soft, so it's really good for blending out. Alright, so the last brush in this set is the highlighter brush. So I'm going to take my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. And I'm going to take a little bit on this brush. This is a really pigmented and strong highlight, so I don't want to overdo it. So I just take a little bit on the brush and tap it off. And then I'm just going to go here on the normal highlighting point. And I usually go up a little bit over my eyebrow. And I'll do the same on the other side. This is also a very soft brush, so it's really good with blending as well. Absolutely love the way this highlighter looks. And then I usually do a little bit on the tip of my nose and also the top of my nose. I do like the exclamation mark trick, so I do like one line up here and then I leave out a little space and do the tip of my nose. I feel like this gives a really light application, so you don't have to be afraid that you'll go overboard with your highlighter right away. And then I'll just do a little bit on my cupid's bow. The brush. I feel like this brush is very similar to this brush, the way that it's soft and it's very good for blending out. This is the same type of brush. It's very soft and fluffy, and it's going to make it very easy to blend out your products, especially if you don't want them to be harsh. You want them to look blended out, like your bronzer, your blush, or your highlight. You don't want any of those to be just sharp lines. You want them to be very well blended out. So these two are amazing for that. I absolutely love these, and I will get a lot of use out of them. And for this one, the pointed foundation brush, I think I would love to do under eye concealer. I don't know if I would like to use it for all of my foundation on my face because it is a little bit of a small brush. And so, like, normally I use like a kabuki brush or a brush like this. You can tell it's quite a bit bigger than this one. So I would normally just use a smaller brush or use this as the under eye concealer brush to blend that out. I think it would be very good for that. And for the two eyeshadow brushes, I will definitely get a lot of use out of these. And this one especially for outer corners and blending, and this one for gel liner. So I don't know what else I would use this brush for. I think it's mainly for gel eyeliner, or I guess any other liquid eyeliner that you want to use it with. And I think those brushes are really amazing, especially for the price. These were $30 with the clutch. So I think they're pretty affordable, and you get a lot for your money, and they last a long time. They don't shed at all, especially my other brushes that I've had for about 2 years. They don't shed at all. They don't leave any black hairs on my face when I'm doing my makeup or anything. So I think I will enjoy these, and I think they're great brushes. So I hope you enjoyed this first impressions. It was the first time that I was using those. So if you want any more videos like this, leave any recommendations or requests in the down bar or in the comment section below. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. It's different from any of the other videos I've uploaded so far. So hit the thumbs up button down below if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!